What follows is a video I first posted in January, in which I spoke about the relationship between Donald Trump and John Bolton. At the end of the annotated replay of this video, I add comments regarding the soon-to-be-released Bolton book on Trump and Ukraine. So here is Donald Trump's chart on the inside and John Bolton's on the outside, although in Bolton's case the time is not known. This shows 12 p.m., but the ascendant and midheaven are almost certain to be incorrect. What we do know is the moon is going to be somewhere between 10 and 22 degrees Cancer, so it's definitely in Cancer, and therefore in Trump's 12th sign. And we also know for sure the Venus is in this range, 23 plus Libra, and over here we have Mars at 25 Sagittarius. And I mention those because they are the most critical. The moon in its 12th can be helpful if you're getting along with someone in terms of helping one another. But once things go sour, it's a very tricky place. You do not want connections in the 12th house, if possible, when a friend turns into an adversary. The same thing is true for Venus. You notice that Bolton's Venus trines Trump's Sun and sextiles his Moon, but it also squares the Saturn-Venus, and this is where Trump's criminality is. All his law-breaking and all his dirty dealings are in this house. And so having Bolton challenging that now is extremely dangerous, especially because in the temporal side of things is exactly what is happening. Saturn and Pluto are over here opposing Trump's planets and therefore squaring Bolton's. And I'm sure Bolton is not comfortable with the situation at all, because when you have planets like that squaring, it is pretty tough. But on the other hand, Pluto being one of them, that tends to get people in a pretty combative mood. So I'm thinking that Bolton is likely to fight, especially because notice Bolton's Mars over here. Remember now, Bolton is known to be a hawk, and whenever a person is hawkish, you can expect that Mars to be strong in the chart somewhere. In Sagittarius, it's already strong by nature because it's a fire sign, but if we had Bolton's actual time, we could probably see that this Mars is likely to be strongly featured in that chart. Now notice that his Mars trines Trump's Mars, so there's definitely a possibility for agreement there. The problem is that it also conjoins the moon, opposes the sun, so this can go sour and then it can get quite combative, which I think is what has happened. Bottom line, my sense is that given the context of the situation, and astrology is always a matter of context, I suspect that Bolton is going to hurt Donald Trump in a pretty serious way. When I posted this video at the end of January, I was surmising Bolton might perhaps testify in the impeachment trial and thereby hurt Donald Trump, but he didn't. So the president dodged that bullet. Now it looks like he's about to put out his book detailing what was going on during the Ukrainian drug deal, and it is making Trump and Barr very nervous. So, as suspected back then, Bolton's planets are indeed wired to do damage to the Orange Menace, and I honestly can't think of better symbolism than Bolton's Mars in Sagittarius hitting Trump's Moon and Sun to describe what is essentially an aggressive, Mars, publication, Sagittarius, and to further add meaning, notice that transiting Mars is traveling through late Pisces, therefore squaring all of this to add to Trump's irritation and anger and perfectly reflect the timing of the whole situation.